All right, what's up, everybody? J.R. Mitch here. We're at Lake Park in Tampa, Florida again. We came to you a couple weeks ago here for a 4 Series event. We're here for just a regular club race event, and I got my good friend here, Clara Engstrom.
Engstrom.
So
Ing and then strum a guitar.
Oh, and then strum a guitar. Okay, I got it. All right. So everybody that races in Florida pretty much knows Clara. Clara's helped me out several times on some raffle donation things at tracks. You go to a lot of the Super Cups. You and your dad and your brother all race and support TLR, which is really nice. We really appreciate that. So let's talk a little bit about how racing's going. What classes, like for today, what classes are you racing? And we'll go from there.
All right. Today I'm mostly racing 8-scale e-buggy, my TLR 4.0.
Okay.
But my dad actually broke his 4-wheel drive, so he's cracked the whole front of the chassis.
Uh-oh.
And so he basically popped his electronics in my car.
Okay.
And so now he's using my 4-wheel drive, so I won't be able to race that for a while.
Oh, okay. But for today, you're just running e-buggy.
Yeah.
And you have a 22.4, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that you race in the 10 scale class, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we were talking earlier. When I come to the track and you're here, you show you're a drawer. You like to draw.
Yes.
You like dragons.
Yes, I love
and all
drawing.
that stuff. Yeah. So tell me how school's going. I know you touched briefly a little bit about how you had a Spanish exam.
Yeah, Spanish.
Okay, Spanish exam. So how did that go? And
it was actually very easy. My teacher basically made us do these huge paragraphs of like Spanish, and we had to translate it all. But actually on the test, it was like super tiny, and it was so easy. I was like so surprised.
It's like the easiest exam you ever done.
Yeah, but there was a lot of questions. There was like 60 something.
Oh,
like
okay.
63.
But you just
66.
went through them like. Boop,
yeah, I
boop,
was just
boop.
like, woo.
Nice. It's good. You enjoy going. You enjoy going to school, and you've been doing really good in school, which is good. And you're out here racing on the weekends, which is cool. So what do you have coming up for racing here in the near future? Do you guys have plans to go? If everybody doesn't know, what kind of car do you guys have? The big car? You have a Toyota FZR? Subaru. Sorry,
BRZ.
not a Toyota. My bad.
They're very similar.
Very similar. Yeah, it's like a 2-seater, but like with a little bit of a back seat.
Yeah.
And it's
very
you,
squished.
and it's you, your brother, and your
the
dad,
driver.
and you have like a tent, and you have tables, and you all get that. It all has to go together one way, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like Tetris.
It's very, yes. It's very technical. Like 8-scale goes there, table goes underneath, chairs go all the way to the back of the trunk. The trunk isn't very deep or big
No,
at all, but
very small car.
Surprisingly, everything fits. And today, actually, I was like, Dad, don't you wonder if like people, what they're saying about how you fit all your stuff in your car?
Right,
and he's like, well, they're probably like, wow,
Yeah, and I can't. I have just a Civic 4-door, and like for me, I just throw stuff in, and like sometimes it fits, sometimes it doesn't. But you guys have an integral way, of how to put everything exactly. So you guys drive from like St. Pete to here.
Yeah.
So you guys have like an hour drive to here.
Yeah, it's not that far.
Yeah, it's like 40 minutes, something probably.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
like
this
that.
is closer to our house than SNS. So.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we're gonna talk to your dad too. He's actually, is he running his 2-wheel drive car today too, or is that the car that broke, or his 4-wheel drive?
Okay, so his 4-wheel drive car is broken. He's running mine in 4-wheel drive, open, and then he's running his 20-year-old
we're gonna
2-wheel drive.
We're gonna talk to your dad, and we're gonna bring that car over. I believe it's a XX CR, I believe, if it's even a CR. We're going to talk to him about that. We're going to take a look at a little vintage RC going here at Lake Park on a nice and cool, right? It's cool today. Like I would say it's like 70 something degrees. No.
Unless
it
you're
feels like
running
100. Yeah, it feels like 102 here today. So
unless you're running around like me, it feels like more.
Yeah, you're term marshaling like 3 or 4 times for the round. So you're definitely putting in your work. Well, Clara, we want to thank you. Okay, we're back. We're back with Clara. We were just talking. Super hot out here today at Lake Park. It's probably like 96 degrees, something like that, with probably about 92% humidity, I would say.
It's very hot.
And you just mentioned something to me about water and on your left wrist. Is that it?
Yeah. The veins on your left wrist go directly back to your heart. So if you like run cold water over it or put a cold water bottle on your left wrist, it'll cool you down. That's what I was just doing. I was just out there marshalling.
I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, I'm cooling down my heart. And I'm like, no way. I'll have to look this up. I'm going to check you out. I'm going to Google it here in a second.
Okay. Well, it's not my words. My science teacher.
Oh, it's a science teacher.
Yeah,
so the science teacher out there, you're on call right now. We're gonna have to put you in the post here and tag you and everything else. So here's another question for you. Okay.
All right.
What keeps you wanting to race? Because see, we have an issue. I think there's not enough club racing. Like here today, we have maybe 45 racers, something like that. So it's not too bad, but it could be better. Obviously, it's too hot. A lot of people want to stay inside.
Yeah.
There's some other racing going on. But what about RC keeps you coming back?
Well, in general, I actually really like cars. My favorite car is Porsche, and my dream car is Porsche 911 GT2 RS because it has more horsepower than the GT3 RS.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm all about the same kind of car.
Yeah, I'm all about cars and, RC cars.
Yeah.
And
It's
the fact that...
Smaller version.
Yes, and I'm not old enough to drive a car myself, but this, gives me the freedom to be like, oh, yeah, competition and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I've loved watching people, actual race car driving, races and stuff like that. This year, I went to the 24 Hours of Daytona, the Rolex.
Okay, yeah.
It was awesome. And there's so many, there's Alex Zanardi who inspires me.
So you're just
Senna.
like you're a race enthusiast kind of thing.
Yeah, I love races.
I feel you on that one too. I feel you. Okay, well, we'll check back with everybody else later. I actually got to go out and help pit some guys. So I'm only running one class. I'm running e-buggy. I kind of swapped out because we have Eric Everett here also, TLR. I'm helping him out pit. So we got to take a little break, and I got to go out and help Nitro pit. So we'll be back with you guys later. We're actually going to talk to your dad. We're going to get the Double X over here, and we're going to check it out. Talk to you guys later. All right, what's up, everybody? We're back. Now we got Claire's dad here, Jake.
Hello.
We're going to talk to him a little bit about vintage and his... Is this a CR or is this just a double X?
It's a CR.
This is a double X CR. So we're here at Lake Park where this car probably caught a lot of its fame from this track way back in the day, probably in like 94-ish, something like that, 95-ish?
97 is when that car came out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. So tell us what's up with running this here at Lake Park.
Well, sometimes you get kind of tired of running the old, mid-motor, high bite stuff, and Lake Park's one of my favorite tracks.
Down here, just checking us out.
Yeah.
Online.
So I kind of like some of the loam, the outdoor feel of it. There's a lot of legendary history with this track as well. So I figured, some of the competition, it's just hard to sometimes just race, at the top level. So I'm not obviously a top level driver, maybe mid-pack or so, maybe less. But I have more fun driving this thing than I do my my current car, which is a 4.0 22. But it's a fun car to drive, and you can throw it in turns. And I tell you what, it's amazing that I cannot remember the last time I broke an arm or anything on this car.
Yeah.
Since I've been down here before.
Yeah,
fact,
I mean,
that's the same sticker that I stuck on 20 years ago.
Yeah, this is like we were talking about it earlier. Like your front arms here, if you can see, I mean they're thin, and your spindles and everything so much smaller than what we have now. We have everything's way more beefier now than what this was back in 94, 95. So you got the J Concepts double D's on there, and got some
copies
with some barcode fronts.
Copies.
Oh, there's our copies ones. Okay, sorry. Whoops. But we got the J Concepts rear tires on there, the double D's.
Yep.
You got I remember back in the day, I don't remember what spring it was, but everybody was saying that you take the coating off the spring and it gave you like a different rate or something. We got the yellows on the front and the silvers. Cool. So we were talking to Clara. We were talking about what keeps you coming back for more. So say you're running strictly two-wheel drive mid-motor 1994 car out there here at Lake Park. It's hot. There's like less traction, I would think, than a prep track.
Yes.
But you enjoy racing, right?
Yeah,
what keeps you coming back for more?
Actually, my daughter. Sometimes I feel like racing, and she wants to go racing.
Yeah.
And we go racing. But I knew that we were open on this day for Lake Park. I'm like, oh, we're all going racing.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
If you Facebook messaged me, see if
Yeah.
I was gonna come out.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We're all hanging out here and having a good time. We're all sweating. We're all drinking a lot of fluids and everything else. But I actually did what Clara said, and I put the water bottle on my, is it left, right? Yeah, my left here, trying to get the blood cooler going back to my heart. We're gonna try it out right here. Aaron, try it out. Do you feel it? Do you feel it?
Yeah, right on the carbon
Do you feel
fiber.
it? You feel a little bit cooler?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, see?
I don't think it's placebo, but actually it does actually feel cooler.
Yeah. All right, well, you're a diehard TLR supporter. I appreciate that here in Florida. You go to a lot of the Super Cups and try to race as much as possible, and you support club racing, which is what I need to try to push out there as much as possible as we need to support club racing. Back in the day, club racing was supported fairly heavily. Now it seemed to drop off a little bit more, where we're seeing people save up a lot more to go to these bigger events, and we don't get as much for club racing. So I want to thank you for coming out, supporting racing as much as possible, and supporting TLR.
Thank you, and you as well.
Thank you.
You do a lot. You do a lot for the community nationally as well as locally too.
Yeah, I try my best. We're getting some stuff out there, keep people aware. I think when you get kind of like older in age like myself, we're trying to keep people aware of some things that are happening and some things that we need to work on and keep racing better. Yep. Try to get as much people out there racing as we can. All right, thank you very much.